All right, it's been called a love story for the ages.
President George H.W. Bush and his marriage to Barbara Bush spanned decades to become the longest in presidential history, and is detailed in a new book out today. It's called George and Barbara Bush, A Great American Love Story.
All right, the author is granddaughter Ellie LeBlond Sosa and joins us right now, the daughter of Dora. So,
hi.
Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we've got to know your family from the outside, and even though you're very open and honest as a family about, we've seen it, what is it like being on the inside?
You know, I've gotten asked that question before. It's pretty normal. We're a normal family. Of course, because of my grandfather and my uncle, we've had some pretty amazing opportunities and experiences through what they've done. But on a day-to-day basis, we're a normal family and do normal things.
Why do you think their relationship is the great American story?
So I remember throughout the writing of this book, we were lucky enough to be able to interview my grandmother a few times. And I remember a year ago, we interviewed her for the first time, and my first question to her was, what's the secret sauce? What's the secret to your marriage? How have you made it through 77 years with Gampy, my grandfather, and still so in love today? And she, of course, in the way that she, in the funny way that Barbara Bush is, she says, well, I was in love, and I am in love, so that's not hard. Like, what a silly question. So what she thought was, she was in love, they were in love, and
that's the secret sauce.
That's the secret.
You just have to love each other.
That's it. You just have to love each other.
So, Ellie, people watching at home go, well, what's so hard about being a Bush? There was a lot hard. I mean, early in their life, when he had to establish himself in business, the losses when it came to politics, the loss of your mom's sister as a child, and then your grandmother went through a brief depression, postpartum depression for issues, and then, when you're president and then lose a re-election, it wasn't all green grass.
Yeah, no, they had some really lows, some hard times, and obviously the hardest for them together being the loss of Robin, their daughter, and it was really amazing. Through the research of the book and talking to my grandmother, we learned that when my Aunt Robin was sick, they were in New York at a hospital, and my grandmother was the strong one when she was sick. She was with Robin, and she was reading to her and keeping her spirits up. And my grandfather, we joke in the Bush family, we all have the gene where you cry a lot. We're very emotional, and he would come in and he would start crying. So my grandmother made a rule: no crying in the room with Robin. So he would be crying in the hallways. And then when my Aunt Robin died, my grandmother was the one who, there was a void in the house, and my grandfather kind of lifted her spirits and held her at night while she cried. So that's a theme throughout the book that you'll see is throughout life, when one is down, the other lifts up.
And we just have to end with asking, and we only have 30 seconds, but how's your grandfather?
Oh, thank you for asking. He's hanging in there. I was in Maine this weekend and was with him in the hospital, and he's getting better every day. And I think he's at peace knowing, we all know my grandmother's in heaven, and he knows he'll be there with her one day.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not soon, but one day he'll be there.
The love will be eternal.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us, Ellie.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the new book.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a huge hit. It's great to meet you.